Okay, when you start a dress up, you're going to see a screen of options like this. I've already got one started here, so we'll start a new one down below. So I'm going to click this and it's going to start a new dress up for me. You'll notice there's three categories by default. Draggable props, those are pieces you can move around with the mouse. Your character, which is a good layer to put your main character, be it a horse, whatever, in, and your background layer. Backgrounds are things that should really fill up the whole frame. When you hit add category, it's going to add a new category right below the draggable props. Okay, so we're just going to call this new category we just added clothes. Now, before you can make this dress up, you're going to have some assets already made. So I've built some assets for this example. So let's go into the draggable props first. Draggable props should be things used to decorate the image. So pets, jewelry, things like that. See how big she is, how much space she is? That's not what you should have as your draggable props. And don't accidentally drag pieces like this out because right now you can't get rid of them. So once you put something in your draggable props, it is there forever. There will actually be a button for by don't drag them in here is what I mean. Because if I do this and let go of her, it will just be there forever. You can't grab it again once you've let it go, and it's gonna take up one of your draggable piece slots. So if you do make a mistake, make sure you leave it in the main drag pane and then hit this little X. Okay, so the draggable pieces I made for this one are some animal friends. So I'll just position them where I want them. Don't overlap stuff too much because they won't be able to move it out of the way. Okay, I'll show you what I mean when I actually go test this. All right. Should be a few more animals here somewhere. Bunny. Okay. When the user plays this game, it's actually going to create a duplicate of this piece. So they can use as many bunnies as they want in this example. They're not limited to just one. Okay. There we go. So that's the pieces I want the person to be able to drag onto the stage. So I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to hit back to go back here. And now I'm going to add... It's a good idea to add your character pretty early on so that you can use it to position your clothes. So let's go find it. I'm using Emerald for this example. So position her wherever you want her. Make sure that she's actually standing on the ground if your background has a ground. Okay, so that's going to be, when they hit the little tabs, this will be the first one they see. Here, this will let me position another one, but notice I don't know where to put her to get her in the exact same spot. So a trick is to go into the background layer and put a copy of your character there, wherever you want her to be. Now when you come back to the character layer, notice I can see that. It's kind of semi-transparent, and I can use that to very carefully put her in the right spot. And you can use the arrow keys to nudge her around so she can be exactly where you want her to be. So I've got the green one, let's put the purple one in. There should be one more. Oh, there she is. So I'll go to the third page. Now if I had more emeralds that I wanted to put on here, like if I had some more colors of her, I could hit this add page button here and that would add another page. So I could add another one, but I've only got 3, so I'll delete that extra page. You can have up to 12 pages per category. Okay, so now I have my characters. Let's go back into the backgrounds. I'll delete this copy because I don't need her in there. And I've just made these really simple backgrounds. This is a piece, it's just a plain square from the building pack, and it's very cheap. It's only, I don't know, 25 emeralds or something, and it's bigger than the screen, so you can use it to make big backgrounds that cover the whole background really easily, especially if you've done like what I've done here and just applied a pattern to it. So now there's 3 different backgrounds. So we have 3 characters, 3 backgrounds, we've got lots of draggable props. Now we need to position some clothes. Notice you can see the character here. That's to let you make sure that the clothes are in the exact right spot. So I've made her some dresses. Now, the pieces I've made here are very quick just because I know you guys really want a tutorial, but when you're making your pieces, make them as original as you can. Build shirts out of bones and dresses out of feathers, and apply patterns to things and combine stuff in new and different ways, because that way your dress up will be more original than the other ones and it'll really stand out and more people will want to play it. Okay, so here's her 3 outfits. So that's basically all we need. Now notice I had all those props already made. You do need to go and build all the pieces in the Magic Maker you want to use before you finish this. Now once you have everything in the right spot, you need to hit publish. I will just call this one Emerald Example so you guys can find it and see how it'll behave. It's going to ask you if you're sure you want to publish this dress up, because if I don't reject the dress up, if I approve it, you will never be able to change it again. Make sure that absolutely every piece is positioned exactly where you want it to be, because once I accept it, it's going to delete all the extra files on the server and make it into one file that you can share with your friends or put on a website or whatever you want to do with it. So don't publish it till you know it's done. Make sure that you titled it when you saved it. Make sure that it has all the pieces you want, and then hit yes on the publish button. Now notice I can no longer click on it and work on it. It's waiting for approval. There's a bit of a bug right now. There should actually be a thumbnail showing here, but if yours doesn't make a thumbnail for some reason, like this one didn't, we'll fix it before we publish it. Okay, so that's it. If you have any questions, check the forums, check things like Ask Emerald to see if someone else has asked it. You can also email me, and I will try to help you out. There will be a preview button eventually so that you can check on your work, and it'll be a little easier to test then. We're going to add a few new features, but for now, this is what we've got. So this is still just the beta version. There's a bigger and better one coming soon. Another thing I forgot to mention is when you're working on a dress up, you can have up to 7 categories here. Okay, so that's all you can have. So make sure that you don't make a dress up that won't fit in that many categories, because that's what it'll fit in the game. And yeah, other than that, have fun.